I'm joined by the lovely Joy, who she said you've got slight problems. How long have you been out in the Tortoise garden? Well, no, not personally out. You go in the house as well, I know. But
it's been running for 11 years now. This is our 11th year.
And I suppose I may as well say that all of a sudden, Cornwall Council say you need a zoo licence.
They do indeed, although back in 2005, what was then Restamel Council came and did an inspection and decided we didn't qualify for a zoo licence. So I'd like to know what they think has changed since then.
The only thing I can see that's changed is the council. The law hasn't changed. It's 1981, isn't it? That was first written. The Zoo Licence Act.
Yes,
is it 81?
I believe it was. About there, yes.
Yeah. What can I say? I think the crux of the matter is there's paragraph 21 in there that says a collection of animals normally domesticated in Great Britain does not constitute a zoo. So I suppose the major cases are tortoises. What's the plural for tortoise?
I just call them tortoises.
Well, yeah,
Probably wrong, but I've always said that.
I think it's a bit like sheep. There's only one, isn't
yes.
there? Or a lot of them, whichever way you go. They are saying, well, the law hasn't changed, but they're saying now you do need a zoo licence. It all comes down to whether a tortoise is a domesticated animal or a wild animal.
Well, they say it's a wild animal, which is absolute nonsense as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yes, because they say in this country, an animal that's normally domesticated, I just think that, as you very well know, you're the expert here, not me, that a tortoise wouldn't survive the winter.
Not if they were out in the wilds, no. You might get one or two of the older hardy ones would survive outside, but not none of the ones that have probably been bred in the country probably would, particularly the winter we've just had.
Yeah, a really cold winter this
yes.
winter, wasn't it?
Yes.
Lots of snow and all.
Yeah.
How many of these shell-covered animals have you got out there?
I've got between 300 and 400.
Good grief. I must admit, I did see boxes of them in your living room yesterday. They've come from, did you say Newquay Zoo?
I took a few off Newquay Zoo and I've taken a few off Paradise Park. The majority of mine come in from elderly people who have had them as domestic pets almost their entire lives, and then either the people die and the family hand the tortoise in, or the old people themselves decide that, it's time to part company.
I mean, people are saying that you're the only one of its type, because you don't breed tortoises to sell, do you?
No, never.
Or even, you never sell them, give them away or anything like that. They're all nicely collected up there.
That's right.
In the living room.
All the ones I've bred, I've got in the garden.
Yeah, it's you're a sort of one-off. And you're used by the RSPCA and Customs and Excise, I believe.
We are. We've had 3 in from the RSPCA in the past 2 weeks. Customs and Excise, I do have some from there, yes.
Yeah, these are ones that have been illegally imported, I suppose.
They are, yes. They've got no paperwork with them.
Bless their little cotton socks. Well, honestly, people ought to go down and have a look at this, because it's something to behold, isn't it?
It is, really.
You've got a monster of a tortoise down there.
I've got several monsters of tortoises down there.
There's, you did have a while back, actually. You had 2 thefts, didn't you?
Well, we did back in August of last year. Yes, we did. But we've taken steps this winter to ensure that won't happen again. Good.
That's good. Yeah, I see on your website you've upgraded the fencing and the CCTV. Yes,
and we've put barbed wire over the wall and all sorts of other little gizmos that people probably won't even notice.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yes.
You did get one of them back, didn't you?
I actually got 5 of them back.
Did you?
The tropical tortoises, but I'm still 28 Mediterranean tortoises and 2 Indian stars missing.
Because they are a bit of a delicate animal to look after as well, aren't they?
They are, yes. They're quite simple to keep as long as you know what to do.
Exactly. I believe I'm gaining 2 tortoises from a sanctuary that's shutting down in Gerrans tomorrow.
I do believe you are, yes.
I am. You're just saying off air, Joy, that if people have a view on this, or if they've got a tortoise they consider to be domesticated, they can go on your website, which is www.thetortoisegarden.co.uk, and email you A
letter of support would be good.
that would be good.
Or their view that they regard tortoises as domestic pets rather than wild animals, which is what the local authority are saying, that they are not domestic pets.
I don't know how they can say they're wild animals. I honestly do not. You worked with them for years. And what's your... do you know, I can't find a tune on here with tortoise in there. Anything to do with tortoise.
I don't think you will do, no. We've had a look already. But I've had my first tortoise for nearly 40 years. And if he's not a domestic pet, what is he?
Exactly. And I still go back to my point that they cannot survive the winter. So they've got to be domesticated. They've got to be looked after, haven't they?
They have got to be looked after, yes, particularly in this climate.
If there's any nice solicitors out there... or Queen's councillors that would love to take up this case, because if it went to court, I think you'd win hands down.
I think it's going to end up going to court, because I'm not prepared to apply for a zoo licence.
Well, no, it's not only the zoo licence, is it? Was it the Three Owl Sanctuary that up country, Rotherham? Did you say
Rochdale?
Rochdale
in Lancashire, yes.
Yeah, I did read about them,
Yeah.
and they've actually had to shut down because it doesn't stop with just the zoo licence.
Oh no, that wouldn't be the problem. It's the knock-on effect
Exactly.
that comes from all that, and it would be financially unsustainable for me to go that route. We only just make enough money to feed the tortoises.
Exactly.
So
and
there's no spare.
The food bill must be absolutely horrendous for them.
This winter it's been about £500 a week.
Yeah.
It's been a colossal amount of money. Yeah.
No doubt. And you'd have to have, was it 2 inspections a year?
Yes.
Which would cost. And then, of course, there's health and safety.
Yes, environmental health.
One of the things the 3Ls thing was saying was that they'd even have to filter the surface water that runs off. They'd have to have a filtration system because of these wild animals, these vicious tortoise that would jump up and get to you.
Yes.
They worked it out to about £250,000.
They did, yes. But they've been open since 1969.
I wonder why this sudden...
I don't know.
When there's been no change in the law,
Yeah.
why there should be according to Cornwall Council, the young lady, I will say from Cornwall Council, they need to get some sort of unitary thing all over the county. Now they're all one.
Yes.
But the law hasn't changed, and Restormal said you didn't have to have a zoo licence before. 4 years, I must admit.
Yes.
And now suddenly you do.
Yes. So, and did they not regard tortoises as wild animals back then when they made that decision?
Well, yes, if they were wild, they haven't changed at all, have they?
No.
It's taken them millions of years to get where they are now. I mean, they're not going to change.
No, and nothing's changed at my place since they came. So there's nothing different there.
Well, I got to say, you're opening tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes, we are, yes.
Show your support and go down to the Tortoise Garden.
Or write me a letter or send me an email.
Yeah.
I'd like to know other people's views on this, because we're just a little sanctuary trying to keep tortoises going and help anybody out there who's got one who doesn't know how to care for it properly.
There you go. So you can come down and meet the tortoises, meet Joy, and get some information as well.
For sure, yes.
That's the main thing. Because you've had schools down there, haven't you?
Yes.
You've had vets down there.
I have.
You've had the RSPCA down there.
Oh, yes, they're regular visitors. They like my place. And they occasionally bring a trainee inspector so that he knows what he's looking for if he's looking for a badly treated tortoise.
I suppose it must be difficult to tell. How can you tell a dehydrated tortoise?
Oh. It's quite easy when you know what you're looking for.
Oh,
but,
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
I've taken a couple in lately that are very battered, very lacking in calcium. Just looking at the shells, you can tell they haven't been cared for that well.
Oh, bless their little cotton socks. Because they're harmless little things. They're harmless, domesticated little things, I should have said, shouldn't I?
Indeed.